Okay, now that I have my warp set done, I'm going to start weaving. So to do that, pick your color that you want to start with. And you don't want your string to be more than 2 or 3 feet, because then it'll start getting tangled and it will take forever to pull through each string. And it also depends on how long you want your color to go. But like I said, no more than 3 feet. So to start, you're going to take the string and you're going to tie it to the back. And I use the string that already has knots. So just like before, just tie your string on there. And now you're going to use a plastic needle to make things easier. And you're going to take the other end of your string and you're going to tie it to this needle. And you want to leave a little bit of a tail so that it doesn't come unraveled when you're weaving. And sometimes it makes it easier to get off when you want to change colors. Okay, so now that I have my string tied to the back and to my needle, I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to put it through the center hole, and I'm going to bring that first string up to the front. And just like your paper weaving, you're going to do over one and under one. So under with your needle, and the pointed tip makes it a lot easier to slide the string underneath. And you don't want to thread through more than 3, because then it becomes difficult to pull your thread. Okay, so under and over. And I do about every 2, I pull my thread to the center. And you want to use your thumb and hold it and then pull the other end so it gets tight. Okay, so thread a couple and then pull your thread through. And if your warp strings move while you're weaving, just move them back. The way I hold it, I kind of hold it at an angle. That makes it easier for me to spin the disc around while I'm working. So I'm not holding it, like this, or I don't have it on the ground or table while I'm doing it. If you want to hold it with one hand, and that's the hand that's going to turn your disc, and with your other hand, thread through with the needle. Okay, once you're ready to change colors, you want to wait till you have about this much thread of your first color, because you want to have enough to cut it off and then tie it to the new color. So to do that, cut it off the needle and choose your second color. And same thing, when you were starting on the back, you're going to tie them to each other using the square knot. So start out just like a regular knot, and then bring the string in your right hand behind the other one, over and through the hole, and then pull tight. Now these little tails, you want the tails, because if you cut them too close to the knot, then it has the chance of unraveling, and they'll be harder to tuck in to hide them. Alright, so now that I have these two tied together, I'm going to cut, or if you can, untie your first string and then thread the end of your new color to the needle just like before. And then you're ready to keep weaving the same way. So over and under, only going through 2 or 3 at a time. And remember to pull it tight. And if you have trouble with the knot, instead of trying to pull it as hard as you can, if you just lift your needle up, that knot will come through. All right, so now I have the knot that I want to cover up. So I want to start pulling it so the tails will stay under. And then when I go back around, I can start hiding it with the new string. So I've got the little tail and the knot, and I'm going to start to try and hide it by putting the new string over it. Remember to pull tight still. And again, if your warp strings move, just put them back. And then you keep going until this color is done, and you change colors again. Or if you want more orange, then just tie another string of orange to the end, just like you did before. And if you're going along and you have some little things poking out, you can see the ends of those threads. You can use the end of a pencil or a pen and just kind of push them underneath your weaving. Which is sometimes difficult. But if you just keep poking it through, it'll eventually go underneath. Okay, so like I said, that's the process you're going to do all the way to the very edge. When you get to the edge and you've had all your colors done, you're going to finish it off just the same way you started, actually. You're going to have the end of your last string, and wherever it stops, you can tie it to that warp string. Just tie it just like you did before, and then you can tuck this tail underneath your whole weaving to hide it. And then that will be your finished CD weaving.